All right, YouTube. Good morning, traders. Um, Good morning, traders. So let's continue from where we stopped yesterday. As you may know, this is a daily live stream for me to show all my trades and everything I do daily. I basically document all my trades on YouTube, and then on my Telegram channel, I do share the trade setup as soon as I analyze them here. So do well to join my Telegram. The link is in the description below. So, all right. Yesterday we were talking about Bitcoin and how we're expecting Bitcoin to break this trend. Oh, if you can't see my screen, let me share it. That's great. Okay, this is better. So yesterday we were talking about how we're expecting Bitcoin this trend and continue because what it already came to our area of interest where we talked about. So now, what are we expecting from Bitcoin? Bitcoin started rejecting the trend here after taking out the liquidity. As you can see, this was a liquidity zone. BTC started taking this out, and then we expected price to come down to this zone here, which it did, right? So BTC did, and then what happened? It started pushing up. Now, at this point, if we should go down to the lower time frame, you could see that it was almost starting to break out from this trend. Here we had one touch point, we had two touch points, three, four, basically, and here it was supposed to at least push up a bit. Remember, our analysis is still Bitcoin going lower than this range, but then we want to grab a short-term bullish what trend from Bitcoin before we see Bitcoin go lower. Okay, but now all we can see is Bitcoin rejecting that zone, still trading within the trend, and now it wants to probably sell or reverse back to buy. So all we have to do is to wait for a clear all we have to do is to wait for a very clear analysis on BTC before we take any trade. As of now, we just have to keep our eyes open and active. So when an opportunity comes in the market, we'll be there to take it, right? So let's go over to see other pairs. Also, yesterday we talked about Arbitrum, and Arbitrum was actually going in our direction. We shared this trade on our Telegram channel. So Arbitrum was actually going in our direction, which is bullish after the break in trend, right? Arbitrum started doing what? Trading short-term bullish. Okay, if you can see it's better now. Arbitrum started trading what? Short-term bullish, right? And then it reversed because also Bitcoin had this bearish move where we just saw it declining from the trend line. So right here, Bitcoin caused this dip on AB. So now this trade is came back to our entry and is starting to push back. But how I do trade is once price has gone over 2R, I put I put my stop loss at my entry. That is, I break even from the trade. So if price should come back to my entry, I'm out of the trade. Once price go 2R, and according to my calculation yesterday, it was 2R, around this 2R zone here. So then I returned back my stop loss to my entry. So my stop loss was now at this side, running in a risk-free trade. So then price took me out without any loss and without any profit. But then I also entered this personal trade Atom, which seemed to also had same trend breakouts. Now this is on a higher time frame. You can see the trend, same trend breakouts, and then it retested, and then it retested. I took this trade on one of my challenge accounts. So let me briefly show you. So this is currently the trade. This is Atom is still active. Atom trade is still active and running in profit. Currently plus 35 USD in profit. So Atom trade is still running in profit. So what is in for us today? Which pair are we analyzing? Basically, crypto and sorry, Bitcoin and altcoins are kind of, should I say, related? Because if Bitcoin should fall, then all other coins called altcoins will start falling to start depreciating in value. If Bitcoin should start going up, altcoins will start going up too. So all what we want to do is to wait for a clear signal on Bitcoin. Then we do what? We start buying or we start selling. Depends on the direction of Bitcoin, right? So now let's go into FX and check out what is happening in the FX market. So if this is your first time, please do well to join our Telegram, do well to like, do well to subscribe, as we are always live every single day, apart from Saturdays. But from Monday to Friday, we are active. So let's come over here to ooh, so let's come over here to Forex trading. Okay. How many hours? This is 4.6 hours. Okay. Let's come over here to let's start from US 30 and what are we looking for here? So one of the basic things we can see on US 30 is that the market has been trading with bullish. So anything we are looking for should be buys, basically, until we see a change in market structure. Until we see a change in market structure. So let's go down lower, 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 lower. Oh, I can see a very good entry here on the starting. So let's go lower. Let's go lower. Let's go lower. And what I want to be doing from here is to short from this zone. I want to short from this zone down to this zone. So let's identify where the change of character happened. To look for a break of structure. Okay. I basically right here, right? The previous low before the break of structure. So what the price is? Price broke the structure here. Price did what? Broke this structure. So I'm going to call this our what? Change of what? Character or market structure shifts, whichever you want to call it. And here will be our what? BOS, our break of structure. This will serve as our protected high because price did not continue the trend after breaking structure. Price did what? Broke through it. And now what we are seeing is an inducement here and the what? Point of interest. So this zone here, we are going to call it our POI. POI. And what we want to see from here is we want to see price trade to this zone and see price down there basically. So this is what we want to see. I'm going to share this trade on my Telegram and see what happens afterwards. So now we've added our alert. So as soon as we just see price coming over here, then we are taking this trade. So let's take a look at another pair. GBP NZD. So first of all, we start from where higher time frame. GBP NZD is a very sweet pair. As you can see my previous SMC setup, how good it has been and all that. So now price has started doing what? Trading bearish. So anything we are looking for in GBP NZD should be basically sales, 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 because price has started what? Trading bearish. So let's narrow down since we've gotten the overview of the structure. Let's narrow down to see what's happening on the 3 hour time frame, the 2 hours time frame, the 1 hour time frame. Now let's see. So the first thing I can see here is a resistance zone, right? This is on the 1 hour time frame. I can see a resistance zone here. I can see a break of structure here. I can see a value and I can see an unmitigated order block picking out before. So let's go down to the 15 minutes time frame to look at the other block mitigated. This side has not been mitigated. This side has been mitigated. This side has not. This other block has not been mitigated. This side has been mitigated. And that is that. This side has been mitigated, right? So this particular zone here has not been mitigated. This, we can regard it as our what? Inducement. Now this was initially our support level, but what the price did, price broke through the support, made a shift here, tried to retrace, continue the trend, and now what's price doing? Taking out the inducement. This is our POI. What are we trying to do? We're trying to short from here and send the market what? Down here. Is that understood? Very clear, very clean setup. Um, Remember, we are not the one in control of the market, so that's why we have stop loss. If market or if price should go beyond this zone, we'll be comfortable with what we want to lose on this trade. So here's our break of structure, and then we'll move over to the next pair. So first of all, we'll start from the higher time frame. Same thing every day. Start. Now we can see over here, price has been trading bullish, and in the last few 4 hours candle, you can see price breaking some low right here. So let's zoom it in. You can see price smashing through this low. You can see a break of structure happening right here, right? So now what do? We move down to the 3 hour time frame, we move down to the 2 hour time frame, and then we start highlighting our key zone. Now let's go down to look for mini structures. Here we got our break. Here we got our break, right? Here we got our break. This is on the 45 minutes time frame. Here we got our protected high, cause back there. And here we got a sell. This was the previous low right here. Now let's go down lower. Let's go to 15. So what are we seeing now? Let's go to 5 minutes. So this place here can be called our MSS or what? Change in market structure, change of character. So I'm going to put it here on the mini structure because what? This was the previous low that it created, and price did what? Broke through that low and did not continue upwards. It becomes a change of character or market structure shift right here. So what the price did? Price made a low signifying change structure or a recent high. So one thing you should know is if the market is in a bullish trend and creates something like which is this right here, this right here, it retraces back into that zone and does what? Continue trading lower. Is this zone, I hope you understand. This zone is this zone right here. This zone is this zone. Continue trading lower, right? So let me take this out. Now on the higher time frame, we are seeing a shift over here. If eventually market should retrace back into this mini structure zone, since this is the higher structure, we are going to be having our POI right here. That's for SMC traders. This zone will be our point of interest for SMC traders. Now this will now serve as our what? Engineered liquidity. So let me highlight it. This will serve as our engineered liquidity. And this will serve as our point of interest. So this is where we want to be taking a short from. This one down, down. Is this understood? Remember, we started from the higher time frame, then went down to the lower time frame to do what? Identify our what? Structures. This is a higher time frame what? Change of character. So the same thing, we're expecting my price to push into this zone and continue. Remember what we did? We did something like this, market trading in a what? Uptrend. And then it makes a move like this, and then what? Sales. So now this move, right? This one here, let me make it smaller so it can fit in. This is where it is, right? So want to see price, go back into this, sweep out this engineered liquidity, right? And begin to sell from that zone. Oh, I hope you're enjoying this video. So please give this video a like, a share, and join my Telegram calls. I will be posting these setups in there, okay? So please do well to like, share, and subscribe. I'm new on YouTube, so trying to do the best to help every new trader or every experienced trader out there. So I go live every day for us to analyze the market together. So the next one I'm seeing, the next one we have here is what? Euro CHF. Next one is Euro CHF. So now what are we looking for? So let's go on the higher time frame. Okay. So the higher time frame has been clearly showing markets trading what? Okay. The higher time frame has clearly shown markets trading in a bearish trend. Markets just keeps going down. Euro CHF is going down. So what are we looking for? We're basically looking for sales. And price keeps what? Breaking structure, breaking structure, breaking structure, breaking structure. Now remember, if price should break structure, it's going to reverse into that zone, just the way it did here. Price did what? Broke structure, broke structure, broke structure. Let me show you, let me highlight for you to see. broke structure here, created a high, has a previous low it created before the high, and did what? Price broke this structure, retraced back into that zone, and did what? Sell. So what do we want to see now? We've gotten our previous what? Our previous low. Now this is our what? Previous high. Now this is on a daily time frame. This is on a daily time frame. So this whole market has been trading bearish on a what? Daily time frame. So now we go down to the 4-hour time frame. As we now know the trend, right? So let me delete all these previous drawings. As we now know the trend of the market is bearish, we'll go down to 3-hour time frame and look for mini structures. We're looking for mini structures. So let's start from this zone. Let's start from this zone. Price did what? Broke structure, right? Price did what? Broke structure, right? Same thing, broke structure, right? Let's go to 1-hour time frame. So what the price did here? Price also broke structure, and here we have another high. So let's go lower. We're getting somewhere. So price broke structure, broke structure. Okay. Respected this other block here. So let's go down to 30 minutes. Okay. So now we want to take our trade within this zone, the previous low and the previous high. So what are we seeing here? The first thing we can see is the break of structure right here. The second thing we can see is an inducement market is trying to take out, right? And now, where do we have our point of interest? On this breaker block. Our point of interest is on this breaker block. So this is the zone we want to see price trade into. This will serve as our protected high. And this will now serve as our target for this trend to continue. Right? So let's project. I'm going to take a short trade. Yeah, using the previous high. And we're just going to leave a little space because of spread, or to stay on the safe side. We are going to use this zone and then we target here. And this will give us 2.6 R. But to milk the market very well, we need to do it. Have more R. So I'm just going to leave my R right here. And this will give us close to 4 R on this trade. So what I'm going to do is to add an alert here and wait for price to come to that zone. Yes, then we take our trade from there. So remember, we started from the higher time frame and then we broke down the analysis down to this zone. So we expect to see a sell if market gives us the opportunity. So I believe you've been able to learn something from this video, and I really hope you watch this video to the end, and I hope you listen to this part because this part is the end. So guys, thank you for watching, and tomorrow we'll analyze other pairs and we'll also try to do top-down analysis for all these pairs. So thank you all for watching. Do have an amazing day. Okay, bye. Mm. Oh, okay. So before you go, this is still our trade on Atom. Like I said earlier, we are on this trade. We are currently on this trade. You can see 37 USD of profit, and it's going well. So we hope for what take profits as soon as possible, so we can rotate funds and move on from there. So that'll be all. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day, guys.